Hey, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for another collection update video for you guys where I go over all the stuff that I got recently. So to no surprise, we got more movies here, and we also got some comics here. Now, we actually have a lot more comics to get through this time. I only got a few movies recently. 2 movies I got for DVD, and then 2 I got for Blu-ray. So I'll go ahead and show you what I got recently. We'll start off with the DVD first. So one of the DVDs that I grabbed recently is Godzilla's Revenge. Now, a lot of you may know that I am a big Godzilla fan, so of course, gotta have this in the collection. Godzilla's Revenge for DVD. And then the other DVD that I got recently is actually a double feature, and this definitely piqued my interest whenever I saw it. And this is actually a double feature of Lockup and Universal Soldier. Now, Lockup I have actually never seen, at least I don't think I have, but I noticed Stallone is in that movie, and I'm definitely a big fan of him, so of course that's going to pique my interest. Universal Soldier I have seen, and I think it's a great film with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. Definitely a big fan of both those guys. I believe I actually have Universal Soldier for Blu-ray, but whenever I saw this as a double feature, figured why not, because I don't think I've seen Lockup, and hey, might as well have another copy of Universal Soldier for DVD, one for Blu-ray and one for DVD. Why not, right? Can't go wrong. So yeah, you definitely can't go wrong with some good old classic action flicks. So those were the DVDs that I got recently. Now on to the Blu-ray. So one of the Blu-rays that I got recently is The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. This is the first one, which I still think is the best of the Equalizer trilogy. And I know that others would say the same, that yeah, this is the best of the Equalizer films. Now, I do have this movie on DVD, but I decided to pick up a Blu-ray copy of this film because obviously Blu-ray is better. And I do have the second film for Blu-ray, so figured might as well get the first one for Blu-ray. And I'm definitely going to pick up the third film for Blu-ray whenever that comes out. Hopefully I get that film on release day. But I did get the first Equalizer film for Blu-ray. Definitely a great film that's worth checking out if you haven't seen it. I would say all the Equalizer films are good and worth checking out as well. Now, the other Blu-ray that I got recently, I've actually seen this movie recently and I was quite surprised by it. I actually really did enjoy this film. And this is Castle Falls with Dolph Lundgren and Scott Adkins, both great actors. I'm definitely a fan of both. Scott Adkins, I think, is a severely underrated actor. I'm definitely a big fan of his stuff. So I got Castle Falls for Blu-ray. Pretty good movie. Also worth checking out for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the comics here, since those were all the movies that I got recently. So I went ahead and got all these comics recently. So we actually have a lot of Spider-Man comics to go through here, so let's just go ahead and get those out of the way. So here's one of the Spider-Man comics that I got recently. And then we got some Amazing Spider-Man comics here, so you can't go wrong. I mean, how cool is that? And then we got some Silk comics here. Now, Silk, I don't really know much about her as a character, so I'll definitely have to read through these to, learn what that's all about. So we got some Silk comics. Here's one of them. And of course, I couldn't just have one. Got to have another Silk comic here. And then we got Edge of Spider-Verse featuring Spider-Rex, which is basically Spider-Man characters, but dinosaurs, which is a really cool concept. So when I saw this at the comic store, it definitely piqued my interest. And I'm like, Yeah, how cool is that? So, of course, it's dinosaurs. You can't go wrong, right? So, went ahead and grabbed this. And then this next comic here that I got recently. Now, I completely forgot that Keanu Reeves actually put out his own comic book series. I don't know why I completely forgot, But when I saw these at the comic store, his comics definitely piqued my interest. Definitely something I want to invest in for sure. And it's actually his comics, The Berserker. So here's one of the Berserker comics that I got. Really cool. Of course, Keanu Reeves, I'm definitely a big fan of. Got to support his work. And then this next comic here, I was actually looking for this for some time. I mean, I wouldn't say that I was struggling to find this, but I was just really excited whenever I saw it at the comic store. And I'm like, oh, it's mine. I just grabbed it immediately and I knew I wanted to get it. And that is Godzilla War for Humanity. I believe this is issue 2. And I believe there's going to be issues 3 and 4 at least as well. At least that's what the guy who worked at the comic store told me. He told me, he's probably going to get issues 3 and 4 and whenever those come out. So went ahead and got some more Godzilla comics, so can't go wrong. And then we got a James Bond comic here, 007. I do have one James Bond comic already, so this is the second one that I have now, so really cool. I'm definitely a big Bond fan, so yeah, I got all of those for reasonable prices, so really can't complain, It's really fun to collect for sure, so let me know what you think. Do you like any of those movies? Do you like any of those comics? Feel free to let me know. So with that said, thanks for watching and have a good one.